Look around you. We see a world of unparalleled connection, yet profound isolation. A world overflowing with information, yet starved for meaning. We talk about crises, economic, environmental, political. But there's a deeper crisis unfolding, a silent revolution reshaping the human heart. For centuries, faith has been the bedrock of Western civilization. For billions, it remains the animating force of life. But for a growing, vibrant, and increasingly vocal segment of our society, especially among the young, faith has become irrelevant, or worse, a relic, an illusion, a burden. They're called the knowns, religiously unaffiliated, and their numbers are surging. This isn't just a statistical blip. This is a seismic shift in the human landscape. And for those of us who believe that within the heart of Christianity lies the enduring answer to humanity's deepest longings, this presents not just a challenge, but perhaps the greatest evangelistic imperative of our time. Today, we're going to confront this reality head-on, not with fear, not with condemnation, but with a radical honesty and a renewed theological vision. We're going to explore how the Catholic Church, with its ancient wisdom and eternal truths, can not only speak to the secular age, but can, in fact, offer it something it desperately craves, even if it doesn't know it yet. This isn't just about saving souls. It's about re-enchanting the world. And it starts now. Let's be clear, secularism is not a monolith. It's not a boogeyman under bed. It's a complex, multi-layered phenomenon, and to evangelize effectively within it, we must first understand it, without caricature, without judgment. For too long, we've painted secularism with broad strokes, as the enemy of faith, the product of atheistic design. But the truth is far more nuanced. Much of what we call secularism today emerged, ironically, from Christian roots. The emphasis on individual conscience, the separation of powers, the pursuit of scientific truth, even the very idea of human rights. The Enlightenment, for all its challenges to traditional authority, also gave us invaluable gifts: reason, critical inquiry, a profound respect for human autonomy. The modern secular person is often deeply ethical, passionate about justice, environmental stewardship, and human flourishing. These are not unchristian values. In many ways, they reflect the very heart of the gospel. So what went wrong? Where did the disconnect happen? It wasn't a sudden war, but a gradual drift. As science explained more of the how, God was often relegated to the why, then the why not. As society became more diverse, faith became perceived as exclusionary, tribal, and as institutions, including the church, stumbled, trust eroded. The secular mind isn't necessarily hostile to God. It's often indifferent, perplexed, or simply unaware of how faith could possibly speak to its lived experience. It prioritizes authenticity, experience, and tangible impact. It sees hypocrisy and turns away. It craves meaning but often looks for it in ephemeral pleasures, consumerism, or transient social movements. This isn't a generation that needs convincing that God exists. Primarily, it's a generation that needs convincing why God matters, why the church matters, why Jesus matters, and why, in a world drowning in data, there's still an urgent need for the transcendent. The church, ancient and enduring, finds itself navigating a liquid modernity. Its structures, its language, its methods, honed over millennia, suddenly feel alien, even countercultural. In a rapidly evolving landscape, we speak of doctrine, dogma, tradition. The secular ear hears rules, restrictions, outdated beliefs. We speak of sacrifice, redemption, eternal life. The secular ear hears self-denial, mythology, pie-in-the-sky promises. The vocabulary itself has become a barrier. And let's be honest, the church has often contributed to this chasm. We've sometimes been more focused on maintaining boundaries than building bridges, more on reciting ancient formulas than on articulating their living power for today. more on internal coherence than external relevance. The scandal of clerical abuse, the perceived rigidity on social issues, the slow pace of change, these aren't just external attacks. They are internal wounds that bleed into the public perception, hardening hearts and closing minds. So, the dilemma is acute. How do we remain faithful to the deposit of faith, to the unchangeable truths revealed by God, while simultaneously becoming intelligible, attractive, and genuinely engaging to a generation that has been conditioned to see faith as irrelevant, oppressive, or even dangerous? How do we uphold the sacred without alienating the secular? This is not about capitulation. It's about translation. It's about rediscovering the scandalous freedom and radical love at the heart of the gospel. The answer, I believe, lies not in abandoning our truth, but in articulating it with renewed conviction and revolutionary creativity. It lies in understanding that the gospel isn't just an answer to the secular age. It is a fulfillment of its deepest, often unarticulated, longings. What does the secular person truly desire? Authenticity, belonging, purpose, justice, connection, beauty, love. Isn't this precisely what the kingdom of God promises? Isn't this what the life of Christ exemplifies? We need to stop seeing secularism as an empty vessel to be filled with Christian content. We need to see it as a landscape already sown with seeds of truth, goodness, and beauty, waiting for the sunlight of the gospel to bring them to full bloom. The secular heart isn't empty. It's often overflowed with a diffuse spirituality, a longing for something more, but without a coherent language or framework for it. Our evangelization must therefore become less about converting minds to propositions and more about inviting hearts into an encounter with a person, Jesus Christ, who is not a relic of the past, but a living, transforming presence in the here and now. This requires a shift in focus, from fear of the world to love for the world, from condemnation to compassion, from proving God's existence to demonstrating his relevance, from rigid instruction to transformative invitation. The church's mission isn't to drag people back to the Middle Ages, but to guide them forward into fullness of life that God intends for them, a life lived in communion with him and with one another, in a world re-enchanted by his presence. If we are to speak to the knowns, we must first listen. True evangelization in the secular age begins not with proclamation, but with sincere, humble, and often uncomfortable dialogue. This means entering their spaces, understanding their questions, affirming their legitimate concerns, and speaking their language, not just linguistically, but culturally. It means moving beyond the insular comfort of our own echo chambers and venturing into the messy, beautiful, bewildering public square. We need platforms for authentic encounter that are not solely catechetical, but truly relational. Spaces where genuine friendships can form, where honest questions, even skeptical ones, are welcomed, where doubt is not seen as a threat, but as a pathway to deeper truth. Consider the rise of secular communities focused on shared values, common interests, or social causes. Can we, as a church, create similar spaces, vibrant, welcoming, outward-looking, where people can experience authentic community, engage in meaningful service, and explore life's big questions without immediately feeling pressured into conformity? This isn't about watering down the faith. It's about making it accessible. It's about remembering that Jesus didn't wait for people to come to the temple. He went out to highways and byways, to the fishing boats and the tax collectors' houses. He ate with sinners and listened to their stories. He met people where they were. Our engagement must reflect that same radical incarnational spirit. It demands vulnerability, humility, and a willingness to learn as much as we teach. It demands a posture of accompaniment, walking alongside rather than dictating from above.
Christ be our light, shine out through the dark, shine. Christ be our light, shine in your church, gather today.
The secular mind is saturated with information. It doesn't need more talking at it. It needs genuine communication that resonates with its lived experience. This means moving beyond abstract theological jargon and towards narratives that speak to the heart. Our communication must embody authenticity. In an age of performativity and curated identities, the Church needs to bravely showcase its humanity, its struggles, its doubts, its imperfections, alongside its unwavering hope and profound wisdom. Storytelling is paramount. Jesus was the ultimate storyteller. His parables didn't offer neat answers. They invited contemplation, challenged assumptions, and sparked imagination. We need to rediscover the power of narrative, personal testimonies, allegories, modern parables, to convey the transformative power of faith. Visual language is critical. We are a visually driven culture. The beauty of art, architecture, music, and liturgy can be powerful evangelistic tools, speaking to the soul in ways words alone cannot. Can we leverage modern aesthetics and digital platforms to present the enduring beauty of Catholic truth in ways that captivate and inspire? And critically, our communication must be personal. In an era of mass media, people crave personal connection. Can we empower individual Catholics to become confident, compassionate, and articulate witnesses to their faith, not by memorizing talking points, but by authentically sharing their own journey? This isn't about slick marketing. It's about sincere connection. It's about letting the light of Christ shine not just through pronouncements, but through the transparent lives of his followers, communicating hope in a world often consumed by despair. Traditional catechesis, while vital for internal formation, often fails to equip Catholics for evangelization in a secular world. It focuses on transmitting information, but less on fostering transformation and witness. Our new forms of catechesis must equip Catholics to be fluent in two languages, the language of faith and the language of the secular world. They must be able to articulate the reasonableness of faith, engage with scientific advancements, and respond to ethical dilemmas from a coherent Christian worldview. We need to move beyond rote memorization and towards a catechesis that is experiential, dialectical, and deeply formation-oriented. It should cultivate critical thinking, theological imagination, and a robust apologetic for everyday life. This means emphasizing discipleship over mere adherence. Catechesis should not just inform the intellect, but form the whole person, heart, mind, and will for mission. It should foster a deep spiritual life, rooted in prayer, sacraments, and community, which then overflows into active witness and service. We need to empower Catholics to understand the why behind their beliefs, to connect doctrine to lived experience, and to see their faith not as a burden, but as a liberating truth that illuminates every aspect of life. Ultimately, new catechesis is about cultivating saints for a secular age, men and women whose lives are so radiant with Christ's love and truth that they become living epistles, intelligible to even the most skeptical hearts. In a crowded marketplace of ideas and spiritualities, what does a Catholic Church uniquely offer to the secular person? Why should anyone choose this ancient, seemingly rigid institution? The Catholic Church offers an integrated vision of reality. It doesn't divorce faith from reason, or the sacred from the secular. It affirms both the dignity of a human person and the sanctity of creation. It provides a coherent worldview that integrates science, philosophy, art, and spirituality, offering a depth of understanding unparalleled by fragmented modern narratives. We offer sacramental encounter. In a world starved for transcendence, the sacraments are tangible encounters with the divine. They are not mere symbols, but efficacious signs, connecting us to Christ's real presence. The Eucharist, in particular, offers a radical, intimate communion that satisfies the deepest human hunger for connection and belonging. We offer an unbroken historical lineage and a global community. The Church is not a fleeting trend, but a living tradition spanning 2 millennia, a vast, diverse family united across cultures and continents. This offers stability, wisdom, and a sense of belonging in a transient, individualized world. We offer a radical call to charity and justice. The Church's social teaching, developed over centuries, is a powerful antidote to consumerism, individualism, and injustice. It calls us to serve the poor, protect the vulnerable, and build a more just and compassionate world, ideals that resonate deeply with many secular hearts. And perhaps most profoundly, we offer hope, not a naive optimism, but a robust, cruciform hope rooted in the resurrection, the belief that love is stronger than death, that goodness will ultimately triumph, and that our suffering is not meaningless. In a world often paralyzed by despair, this hope is a radical and liberating gift. This evangelistic renewal is not just about strategies and tactics. It is fundamentally a spiritual battle. It demands an interior transformation within each of us. We cannot give what we do not have. To invite others into an encounter with Christ, we must ourselves be profoundly connected to Him. This means cultivating a vibrant, personal prayer life, a deep love for the sacraments, and a constant openness to the Holy Spirit. It demands courage, the courage to be vulnerable, the courage to speak truth with love, the courage to stand firm in our convictions without being rigid, and the courage to endure rejection and misunderstanding. It demands humility, the humility to admit our past failures, to learn from others, and to recognize that God works in mysterious ways, often outside our preconceived notions. It means letting go of the need to be right and embracing the call to be truly loving. And it demands profound love for the secular person, a love that sees beyond their skepticism or indifference and recognizes the image of God within them, a love that yearns for their flourishing and their encounter with the abundant life Christ offers. Our evangelistic efforts will be fruitful only to the extent that they flow from a deep, authentic relationship with Jesus Christ. We are not selling a product. We are sharing a person. We are not propagating an ideology. We are inviting into a relationship. So what is the way forward? It is not a single path, but a constellation of efforts, each infused with intentionality, courage, and prayer. Every Catholic is called to be an evangelist, live a life so compelling, so authentically joyful and purposeful, that others are drawn to ask, what is the source of your hope? Be ready to share your story, not as a lecture, but as an invitation. Make our parishes, our homes, our communities places of genuine welcome, where everyone, regardless of their background or beliefs, feels seen, valued, and safe to explore. Break down the barriers of insider and outsider. Equip ourselves to articulate the reasonableness of faith, to engage with contemporary challenges from a Catholic perspective, and to demonstrate that faith is not a retreat from intelligence, but an invitation to its fullest flourishing. Support initiatives that foster serious theological and philosophical dialogue. Leverage the power of digital media, art, music, and storytelling to convey the timeless truths of faith in compelling and culturally relevant ways. Be innovative, daring, and beautiful. Let our faith compel us to radical service and advocacy for justice. Show the world that Christian love is not just a sentiment, but a force for transformation, a tangible commitment to human dignity and the common good. The decline in religious practice and the rise of the nones is not a sign of God's defeat, but a profound invitation. An invitation for the Church to rediscover its missionary heart, to shed its complacency, and courageously step into the arena of human longing with the life-giving message of Jesus Christ. We live in a fragmented world, longing for unity. A secular world, starving for meaning. A skeptical world, yearning for beauty. And in the heart of the Catholic faith, in the incarnate God, in the cosmic Christ, we find the answer. For Christ is not just the Lord of the Church. He is the Lord of history, the ground of all being, the logos through whom all things were made. He is the ultimate fulfillment of every human yearning, the answer to every question, even those unasked. The secular person, consciously or unconsciously, is searching for Christ. They seek truth, and Christ is truth. They seek beauty, and Christ is beauty. They seek goodness, and Christ is goodness. They seek connection, and Christ is the ultimate communion. Our task, as evangelists, is not to force-feed answers, but to gently reveal the one who is the answer, to build bridges of encounter, communicate with compassion, and form disciples whose lives are compelling testimonies to the love of God. The spiritual landscape is shifting, but the light of Christ remains. Let us, with renewed zeal and profound humility, step into this new evangelistic age. Let us re-enchant the world with the radical love of God. Let us be the saints this secular world so desperately needs. For in every none there is a hidden sum, a longing for meaning, for belonging, for transcendence. And that longing ultimately points to Him. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and join the conversation.